Yeah, I'm Anthony from Zero Source. This time, I'm talking about how to use the DAX to create a specific format report. It's a fixed asset schedule. Okay, let's go. The report should be shown including three portions: the opening balance, the current movement, and the close balance. The open balance is the balance brought forward from the last period. The current movement is the left movement during the period, and the close balance is the sum up of the open balance and the current movement. Use the existing management account sums to present whether it can complete the task, but the result is obviously, as to the cost part, separate into three tables. One is opening, one is current movement, and one is the closing. Then, the fixed asset schedule includes three portions: the cost, accumulated depreciation, and the net value. Each portion has three parts: the opening balance, the current movement, and the closing balance. Finally, the report becomes 3 by 3. It becomes 9 tables as a whole. With the new DAX measure, the number of tables reduced to 3. Only the fixed asset cost table, the fixed asset depreciation table, and finally, the net value table.
I opened the last file from Consolidation Accounts and Consolidation Journal. It includes 2 sheets, one for balance sheet, and one for profit and loss. I used this to advance the measure of working the fixed asset schedule. It is impossible to make this fixed asset schedule with account sum measure, debit minus credit. For example, it should include the opening balance, the net movement, and the closing balance, but it is difficult to show it in one table. I should use the DAX measure to draw this number together. Go to Power Pivot and create the measure that called as fixed asset cost opening. Uses calculate and account sum an expression. Account sum is a measure to net off debit and credit amount. In the filter terms, I filter the ledger ID number which equal to the beginning balance. In the original ledger, all the opening balance labeled with beginning balance to indicate that the amount came from last period. The second filter is about the chart of accounts, second tier accounts, which is equal to property, plant and equipment. The second measure names as addition of fixed assets during the year. So filters ID number which is not equal to the beginning balance. Why this time uses not equal to? Because I want to take all the balance except the beginning balance. The second filter in the addition measure, filter the chart of accounts, second tier accounts, is equal to property, plant and equipment. Then I add up these two measures, open balance and addition, to become the close balance. After I finish the fixed asset cost measure, I prepare to work out the fixed asset depreciation measures. I create the new measure, call it as fixed assets depreciation opening balance. And its ID number equals beginning balance, followed by chart of accounts, second tier accounts, is accumulated depreciation. As for the depreciation charge, ID number is not equal to beginning balance, which is the number from previous year, then chart of accounts, second tier accounts, is accumulated depreciation. FAD closing is summed up these two depreciation measures, FAD opening and charge. As to the measure about the calculation of net asset value of the fixed assets, I copied this formula to here. And amend the chart of accounts, second tier accounts, to first tier accounts, which is equal to non-current assets. Also amend the chart of accounts, second tier accounts, to first tier accounts, which is equal to non-current assets. Net asset value closing balance is equal to sum up of fixed assets cost closing and fixed assets depreciation closing. Then highlight these measures, format as number. Jump out of the Excel, create a new pivot table. In rows above uses the profit and loss format, first tier accounts, and chart of accounts, second tier accounts. I lay down all the newly create measure, such as the fixed assets cost open balance, addition, and the fixed assets cost close balance into the values. This one is the fixed asset cost schedule. Copies this pivot table and paste it below here. I only replace the FA cost measures with FA depreciation measure. Then I completed the second schedule. Also copy this below to work out the net book value, and convert these three to net book value 3. Check whether the balance of these three table tied with the balance sheet. If the balance is okay, then we are finishing the work of making the special formatted reports fixed assets schedule. If you're the first time to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. You won't miss any new film.